Jurassic Park on the Sega Genesis is a really interesting game. Interesting in both good and bad ways. You see, most of the Jurassic Park games up to this point were focusing on the adventures of Dr. Grant. I suppose that's only natural since Grant was the hero of the movie and all, but he certainly wasn't the main attraction for me and thousands of other kids that went and saw Jurassic Park at movie theaters. We didn't go to be wowed by Grant's "I'm not a hero, I'm just an archaeologist" bullshit. No, we came to watch dinosaurs fuck shit up. And unfortunately, no actual Jurassic Park video game seemed to want to capitalize on kids' fantasies of ripping apart humans with dinosaurs. That is until Sega stepped up to the plate with their Jurassic Park game that let you do just that. Jurassic Park for the Sega Genesis was actually 2 games in one, the first option being playing as Dr. Grant. Grant gets the standard run-and-gun action game treatment here, complete with a variety of guns and a ton of various dinosaurs to use them all on. It even included the rafting scene from the book that was left out of the movie. Overall, it's a barely mediocre action game. There's a good variety of stages, and the graphics are probably the best of any Jurassic Park game out at the time, but it's just not enough to keep your attention for very long at all. Besides the rafting stage, the rest of the stages are mostly dull and suffer from some terrible platforming sections. That, combined with Grant's already slippery controls and the near constant slowdown, made the frustrating moments far outweigh the fun. If this were the entire game, it could have easily just been tossed into the pile of crappy Jurassic Park games that were currently flooding the market at the time. But Jurassic Park on the Genesis had another character that you could play as, the Raptor. Yes, someone finally had the amazing idea that maybe kids didn't want to kill the dinosaurs. No, we wanted to be the dinosaur. While I'm sure most of us just wanted to be the T-Rex and simply rain terror upon all living things, Sega couldn't exactly make a game out of that. Instead, we got the next best thing. You could totally be a raptor, and it was awesome. Well, some of the time. Being the Raptor is mostly as great as it should be. The Raptor looked awesome, and it was finally time to play the part of the predator instead of the prey. The main objective was to find your way through the levels and shred any human or dinosaur in your path. Unlike Grant though, the Raptor only has a couple of moves at his disposal to do so with. Jumping on top of enemies is usually more than enough to take anything down in one hit, but you also get a long distance pounce that can travel across the screen for some super quick takedowns. You even get to eat smaller dinosaurs to refill some health here and there. It was a great idea, and one that was way overdue, but playing as the Raptor fell victim to a game that was trying to do a little bit too much. Mainly being that the developers didn't stop and totally redo most of the game's controls and maps to fit the Raptor better. Yes, the map layouts are a little bit different from Grant's, but it's the same tile sets and obstacles as before. Also, the Raptor isn't a small human like Grant. He's big and bulky, taking up about 3 times the space that Grant takes up on screen. So expecting you to navigate the stages as this giant honking raptor is incredibly frustrating at times. He's also just as slippery as Grant in the controls department, if not more so due to his size. And if you thought getting through the stages with Grant was rough, just wait till you have to master jumping onto tiny platforms as a raptor. When you're able to just jump on people and eat them, playing as the raptor's awesome. But as soon as you saw a few platforms you had to maneuver him onto, well, the game tanked really hard. Even with all of its problems though, I still had a lot of fun with this game as a kid, mostly as the Raptor. I played through the frustration of it multiple times, just to jump around like some crazed dinosaur on the most amazing killing spree of all time. Sure, it's got control issues all over the place, and Grant's stages are mediocre at best, but this is probably the Jurassic Park game I look back on with the most nostalgia. It really doesn't hold up too well these days, but it's still pretty fun now and again to load up and jump around with the Raptor and kill stuff for a few minutes. At least until the game starts wanting you to make accurate jumps with him. Overall, it's not a game I can really recommend to anyone that wants a fun Jurassic Park game these days. It's just too frustrating, and there are way better Jurassic Park games out there to play. But at least Jurassic Park on the Genesis proves that it's always more fun being the predator than the prey.